Hello students, I welcome you all to Exam Day to this session. So I hope you all are doing good. I'm Anshuman, your English faculty. So students, if you remember last time we had done a mock test, right? So we tried to solve English section within 20 minutes and we were successfully able to complete and attempt all the questions in 20 minutes, right? So in this video, what we are going to see? We are going to attempt RBI Assistant Prelims PYB 2022 paper, right? So we'll be seeing the English section here. So we'll see and solve everything in detail, right? So let's move ahead, right? So from Parajumble, the first section we see is the Parajumble questions. So total 5 questions appeared, right? 5 questions came from Parajumble part. So let's see, the paper was easy to moderate. So you can see that the Parajumble question is easy actually, right? So let's try to find out the correct sequence here, okay? See, first we read, John did as he had been told. It cannot be a first sentence because we don't know that what John had been told to do, right? Let's read B. His father simply smiled. Again, we have pronoun. We know that when we have pronoun, right? So it cannot, what happens is that we cannot keep it as a first sentence because we don't know who that person is. We need a noun first of all, right? Then see, once the vowels, see, it consists a definite article, the vowels. I don't know which vowels I'm talking about. If it has to be a first sentence, it cannot be because I need to already talk about vowels first of all, and that's why I'll use the definite pronoun, definite article the, right? Then we see D, a boy named John. Yeah, this can be a first sentence because here we are given an introduction that there's a boy called John and we are told about his state that he was upset and his father found him crying. So it starts as an introductory point, as in starting of his story, right? Then E, when his father, again we have the pronoun here, his, so it cannot be a first sentence. And then again in F we have F, that cannot be a first sentence. So let's see, okay, let's lock this option D, this statement D, as our first sentence. So A here is our first sentence. A boy named John was upset. His father found him crying. Okay, then after that what? What happened? He was upset and his father found him crying. Then perhaps his father did something. So what his father did? See, you come to E. It says when his father asked John why he was crying, right? See, in the first, we are just told about the state of the boy, right? And a situation when his father found him crying. And then in E, it elaborates the story. It expands the story, right? Telling us that his father asked him the reason or the cause of his state of crying. So he said that he had a lot of problems in his life. Now here, in the same sentence, we are provided with the reason as well, that why he was crying, because he had a lot of problems in his life, the boy, right? So E will be our second sentence here. Now we see the next sentence. So if you look at B here, okay, see, in E, he told his father the reason. So somewhere now, what should follow the sentence? The father's reactions, right? That what did the father react like, or what did he say actually? So his father smiled, simply smiled, and asked him to get a potato, an egg, and some coffee beans. He placed them in 3 bowls. So his father then smiled, and he asked him to do a certain task. And then he asked him to bring some potato and egg and coffee beans, right? And then asked him to place them in 3 bowls, 3 different each bowls, right? So this will be our third sentence here. Now let's look the fourth sentence, the next sentence. Then what happened after the person did all this task? So look at here. He then asked, right, John to feel their texture and then fill each bowl with water. Here we are actually told about the task in, it expands the task. That his father not only asked him to place the 3 items in 3 different bowls, but also asked John to feel the texture of those 3 different items and fill each bowl with water, right? Now after this, either we can continue to expand this task or we can study about the what we can say the reactions or the response of the child, right? So let's look at A. See, John did as he had been told. So yeah, it simply says that whatever John was asked, he did it. Then his father then boiled all three bowls, right? And the last sentence remains C. Once the bowls had cooled down, John's father asked him to feel the texture of the different food items again. So this is the simplest sequence we have here. So it is first of all D, then E, okay, and then B, please note it down, then F, A, and C is our last sentence. So there's a very easy story, right? This is a very easy story here, okay. And I've told you the reason that why each different sentence should follow another, right? Or why a sentence would precede the other sentence. Okay. So now after this, you'll be asked different questions. I have not incorporated those questions because it would, consume time. What matters to us that we have understood this sequence. Now in exam, you are asked 5 questions. Okay. In this 2022 previous year paper, you are asked 5 questions from para-jumble questions. So you see that there are 6 statements. Now the question will be asked like which is the first sentence, which is the second sentence, which is the fifth, fourth, in any random order, right? So you have to answer accordingly. Okay, so our 5 questions are done, right? So we'll move to the next part now. Kindly excuse me. Okay, so now we come to question number 6. Oh, so now what is this? This is based on sentence improvement. So if you see how many questions do we have from sentence improvement? We have again five questions from sentence improvement. So 5 we had from para-jumble, right? Please note it down, keep in your mind that, and 5 from sentence improvement. So let's see. Now again, the level is easy to moderate. In fact, easy actually. Let's say question number 6. A mason named Nawab finally. See, we have an adverb called finally, right? Finally, agreed to take us there with police escort. See, it uses a verb named, right? That means somewhere it's talking about past. So a mason named Nawab, and then we have an adverb called finally. So the verb after this has to also be in past tense, right? Because we have the verb in past tense here. So let's do, so see, agree is not in past form here. Again, option 1, 2, okay? Both are in present form. 3 is in continuous form, right? But it doesn't talk about whether it's in past or present. And we in fact do not need any tense, any verb in continuous form here, right? So we need agreed. So answer 4th or option 4th will be your answer here. So it should be finally agreed. Agreed to do what? To take us there. So option 4 will be your correct answer here. Next question. Women are very good. Good at what? Good at bringing consensus on difficult decisions. See how I'm asking the question like, women are very good. Good at what? We generally ask that. I'm good at painting. I'm good at swimming. I'm good at whatever, right? So women are good at what? At, right? Now it should be followed by a gerund verb. So bringing is correct here. Bringing what? Consensus on difficult decisions. That means mutual agreement, right? So we do not need any improvement here. We don't require any improvement, right? Good, okay? If you have phrase like is good at, is good, are good, was good, right? And if there is any field or any what you can say domain that you're talking about, that the person is good at specific thing, right? So it should be always carry the preposition at with it, right? And then after at you should have a gerund verb here. That means in continuous form. The verb should be in its continuous form and it will be a gerund verbs. What are gerund verbs? These are the verbs which act like nouns. So at what? At bringing consensus on difficult decisions. So no improvement required. Okay. Right. Question 8. Ravi explains the exercise will remain the idea till the school gives permission for it. What idea am I talking about? Right? Here someone says that Ravi, there's a person, he explains that the exercise will remain the idea till the school gives permission for it. There's some exercise students might have received from their school, right? Now what it says, that what the person says, that exercise has to remain an idea. Okay, we are talking about an idea. That's indefinite article we need to use with this, because I don't know that what idea I'm talking about. I'm talking about just any random idea, right? So I'll have to use an indefinite article with this, an idea here, right? So hence answer 1 will be your correct answer here, right? Okay, let's move to next question. A city court recently directed to close off the sedition case filed against Amnesty India. Okay, a city court recently directed to do what? Right? To close what? The sedition, to close. This is a verb. Now we need a noun here, right? To close what? The sedition. We don't need a preposition here. So look at the options. First of all, please remember, we need an infinitive form here. A city court recently directed to do what? Right? So we need an infinitive form. Now, option 1 does not have an infinitive form here, so it is incorrect. Then, to close, here we have, but as I said, we need a noun after close. So it should be to close the sedition, right? But we need to remove off. So it has off here. It has also off here, right? So it is incorrect. And also here we have closing. Okay. So off we have here. Now see, we have two options, 3 and 4. Now what do? This can be done in two ways. Either you say to close the sedition case, right? Or what you can do, you see in the option you have 3 and 4, there is not infinitive form of the verb. There is closing, right? Closing, continuous form. So closing what? Closing of the sedition case. So there are two ways. Either you can say that directed to close the sedition case, or you can say directed what? Directed closing of the sedition case. So we can use gerund verb as well here, because gerund verbs act like noun, right? So closing of the sedition case, then what? The difference is here. The difference is here. Okay. So closing of the sedition case, right? Filed against Amnesty India. So your third would be correct here, right? So city court recently directed to close the sedition case filed against Amnesty India. Okay, let's move to next question. People were informed of the need to adopt strays instead of spending huge amounts on breeds. See, we have much here. Much is a determiner that you use with uncountable nouns, but breeds, this is a noun that is countable. So you don't have to use much, you have to use many. Now this is the difference we use, or we see in the usage of uncountable nouns and countable nouns. So you use many with countable and you use much with uncountable nouns. So it has to be many, right? Many of which. So many of which, we need a relative pronoun here, right? You see, we have many in the fourth option as well. But see, we have a definite pronoun it here. That's a neutral pronoun, but we do not need that. We do not need a personal pronoun here. We need a relative pronoun here, right? So many of which are not suited will be the correct answer. So first is your correct answer. Okay, let's see the next question, question 11. Okay, now we come to word usage, right? So you see that in 2022 PYP, we have two questions based on the word usage. So the first is callus. Okay, now what is a callus? Callus, you can say, this is that hardened part of the skin that is caused because of subjecting to friction. So when you ride a cycle, so you would have noticed that your palm, the bottom part of your fingers, on the surface of your palm gets hardened, right? So that's called callus. Callus can also be, certain, that hardened skin when you get any injury, any, minor injury, and then there's a layer formed, a hardened layer formed of skin. That's also called callus. Callus can also be hard, bony tissue. Okay, when a bone gets fractured, so to repair the bone, our body uses a tissue around that injured part. So that's also called callus. So if you read the first and third question, see, more than rage, it was pity that filled me on seeing this callus. It doesn't make a sense here. Even by standards of guerrilla warfare, he is conspicuously callous figure. Doesn't make a sense. But when you read the second, it relates to the meaning that I have told you. The formation of callus in fractured limbs was also increased. So you see, it matches. Hence, only second, that is fourth, one will be a correct answer. Right? Okay, let's move to next question. So, issue. Now, what can be the meaning of issue? See, let's read the first sentence. Politicians proposed popular sovereignty as a means of entrusting the issue to citizens of new territories. Now, issue here means what? A subject of matter, right? So this is correct. Second sentence, I found an old issue of Othello in my grandfather's cupboard. So now what is Othello? It's a play from Shakespeare, right? So I found an old issue. Now that issue means a version, right? A publication. Then in the third sentence, they will issue the NOC only after a strict background check. So issue means here declare, supply, right, or provide. So in all the sentences, issue, the word issue has been used correctly. In all the three sentences, issue mean something, right? It means something. So question, option fifth, first, second, and third. This will be a correct answer. Okay, so now what do we have here? We have now the section based on the error detection part, right? So we have to find the incorrect part here. See which which one sentence is grammatically incorrect and choose the option which points out the grammatically incorrect sentence. So we have been provided 4 sentences among which we have to find out the incorrect sentence, and if there's no error we need to go with the option 5, that's no error. So look at the, you can just pause the video and you can read all the sentences, but I'll just tell you the incorrect sentence here. So see, first one, Sri Lanka is facing an economic crisis. Crisis of what? So as should have been replaced with of. Crisis of long queues in front of petrol station, right? If you use as here as long queues in front of petrol station, then the sentence remains incomplete. So we need what? We need a preposition of here. The rest of the sentences, if you see, you can pause the video. So there are no errors here, right? The error lies in the first sentence. See, debt, both domestic and foreign. We are talking about debt, not domestic and foreign. Domestic and foreign are 2 adjectives that have been used, but our subject is debt. Hence, has been used here. So according to subject verb agreement, this is correct, right? Okay, let's move to next question. So you see, you can again pause the video and look for the incorrect sentence, but I'll just tell you the incorrect one here. See, you see 3, one of the, wherever you find one of the. So always remember the object has to be plural because we're talking one of those things, right? So one of the brides, it had to be brides. It has to be plural, right? If you're talking about one of those certain things, that has to be one of the brides. Then if you see, rest of the sentences would be correct here. So you need to mark your answer 3 as the correct answer. Next question we'll see. So you can pause the video again, right? See, but I'll tell you the incorrect one. See, we do appreciate and acknowledges. We is plural. Acknowledges, the verb is singular because it has an S with it. According to subject verb agreement, this is incorrect because with we have to use acknowledge. So we do appreciate and acknowledge. Acknowledges is incorrect, right? So option 2 is your correct answer. Rest of these sentences are correct. Okay, now let's see question 16. See, yesterday there was sporadic exchanges. What was there? There were exchanges, right? There were exchanges. The object, or whatever you say, right? The noun here is in plural form. Hence, the complement or the object is in a plural form. So the subject has to be also in plural form. So it has to be there were sporadic exchanges, right? So please take care of the subject verb agreement. Kindly study that, okay? Your exams are anyway close, but meanwhile what you can do is whatever number of days you are remained with, that you can just practice certain questions based on subject verb agreement. So question option number 1 will be your correct answer. Let's and rest of the are correct. Okay, there are no errors. Okay, let's move to next question. Okay, now we come to the fillers based question, right? So how many filler based questions we have? 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, so you see 4 questions were based on the fillers, right? So let's see. Customers vouch for the what? The dash of shopping in a plaza without the hassle of elbowing through a crowded market. That means they are certainly somewhere finding some comfort. They want to find a comfort and ease. So look, convince. You don't want to just go through the crowd, a crowded market, elbowing, getting touched by others and trying to find your way. So convince will be your correct option here. Conclusion, connection, continuous, contradictory, that means something that is an opposite way, right? These all do not make any sense here. See, the options are very easy. I don't even need to explain you the meaning of these words, right? The words are very easy, right? So convince is your first answer. Next, so for 4 hours she sat doing what? About Harry. So what can be done about Harry? Hindering, right? That means causing some problem. Appearing about Harry. Appearing means to be shown, right? To appear. Thinking, pointing, waiting. So thinking, right? What you can do about someone, you can think about someone, you can point about someone, but you can point someone. Look at the word about. So thinking about makes some sense, right? So thinking is your correct answer here. Okay, let's move to next question. If they were nervous, it was pretty tough to tell they had such a friendly what? You need to find some synonym to it or some word that might be relatable. So jovial means happy, right? Cheerful. So friendly and jovial, way about them. Saddening, hateful, trivial means something small. Poignant, something that gives you sad vibes, right? So these are all some other words. Poignant, hateful, saddening, these are the opposite words. Trivial means something that is not important, right? So jovial is correct word here. 20. Monk felt the coroner's presence permitted this what of the ethical rules. So this happening of the ethical rules, what do you mean by happening of the ethical rules? Attempt of the happening ethical rules, socializing, scrumptious means something that is tasty, something that is palatable, right? Something that is good in taste, right? For example, food can be scrumptious, a dish can be scrumptious, but we need a noun here, that's relaxation. So relaxation of the ethical rules, that means somewhere there was there were no strictness and following the rules. Somewhere the rules got relaxed, right? Or someone got relaxed with the rules. Someone got inclement, right? Okay. Now we come to our reading comprehension part. So you can pause the video, take your time, and go through these slides. I've divided this reading comprehension into 2 parts. And then later you can come and look at these questions. So let's read the question. 1. On what did the 2 friends spend their time thinking when they were resting under the tree? So now it depends on you how you solve this reading comprehension part. One thing I'll definitely tell you is this, that you definitely should go for like you should skim through the passage once. Just take your 1 minute. In 1 minute, you'll skim through the passage quickly, and you can just it can just give you an idea that perhaps where some important thing lies. Does it lie in the first part or the second para? Okay, so it helps you remember that. So if you want, you can go skim through the passage, or you can directly jump on the question and then refer to the passage. So this question says, on what did the two friends spend their time thinking when they were resting under the tree? So let's look at the first question. First part. See, two best friends, they spend most of the time resting under a tree and thinking about what should they do in their life. So this what they thinking about, that what they should do in their life. So look at option 5, what they should do in their lives. Very easy, very, very easy. So option 5 is your correct answer, right? Okay. See question, question number 22. What idea did the two friends get when they saw the women carrying water? So do we read about a woman carrying water? Okay, so see, they noticed that the women in the village used to bring water boats from the river, which was far away. Even though they make many rounds, the water was never enough for the daily needs. Now they had an idea. What? They went to the village and offered them that they would bring water pots on behalf of them, and in return charge 25 cents per pot. So for each pot they would be carrying, they'll get 25 cents. That's what they demanded for. Everyone liked the offer and their business grows too fast. So they started to make 50 to 100 rounds daily. This after 10 years, they were the richest men in all the close villages. So they did business, right? So look at this. They thought that they could earn a living by delivering water pots to their houses. So here first is your correct answer again, right? They thought that they should set up a pipe. No. They thought about making a complaint to the chief. No. They wanted to share their water, right? No. First one, they thought of earning money through it. So first option is correct. Then how many cents? See, how much did the two friends charge to bring water from the river? 25 cents. We just read it, right? Remember? See, 25 cents per pot. It's easy. 25 cents. Option 2 is your correct answer. Then, next, why did the first friend thought of finding an alternative to carrying water? Why did the first friend thought of finding an alternative to carrying water? Was there any twist? See, then one of the friends realized that they need to do something. Now they're healthy and young, but they'll not stay this way forever. But the other said that they were fine. The former, okay, so why, right? The former still wanted to find an alternative because they were not going to be young and healthier like that forever. They had to be old one day. So, was he tired of getting water every day? No. Was he greedy? No. See, number 3, he realized that he won't stay young forever, and he wanted, and it would be difficult to do labor in the future. Right? So, this is what we saw. So, option 3 is correct. Fifth, what inspired the first friend to make a large long pipe of clay? So, making of a pipe. Do you see any context here? Okay. Some days later, in a neighboring village, he saw a potter making pots and noticed a pot with a long, narrow neck. He thought of making a large, long pipe of clay and bringing it to the village. See, what did he get inspired from? Long, narrow neck. So, a long clay pipe in the nearby village. No, a pot with long narrow neck made by a potter. They saw a potter making a long narrow neck, right? Pot. So this fourth is your correct answer here. Okay. After the construction of the pipe, the first friend had to suffer a considerable loss at first, as he began selling water for 10% per pot. So this is what according to the passage. Is it true, false, or what? So let's read. Construction began through a lot of problems came in the way. The pipe broker, okay. Then we quickly read and see. Now he offered 1,000 pots per day, thus decreased the rate to 10 cents per pot. Income started to flow in the first friend's pocket, and the second was jobless. Who wants pots for 25 cents if they can have it for 10 cents? So the first friend sold it for 10 cents and the later the old price, that is 25 cents. So it is definitely false. The first friend hadn't to suffer considerable loss at first, but he began to actually get a lot of money because he sold the water for, a lesser amount, right? So definitely false. Next, why did the second friend become jobless? It's easy. He still sold water at 25 cents, but his friend had cut the rates to 10 cents, right? So there was a difference. Of course, you're going to get something at a discounted price, not at a high price. So first is the answer here. We come to the synonyms and antonym part. So which of the following is a near antonym of the given word grow? Grow, that means to increase, bolster, strengthen, right? So seek, that is to find, wrong word. Spill is the wrong word, right? Spill can be throw, right? Shrink, that is to get lesser in size, to decrease, diminish. So we need to find an antonym. Third is your correct answer. Shiver, when your body shakes because of cold, because of fear, right? Or a certain emotion. Scare, that is to frighten or terrorize someone. So shrink is your correct answer. Then synonym of the word hindrances. Hindrance means causing problem or barriers, right? Problems, barriers, certain issues that come in your way of a process, right? So important means something that's vital, crucial, doesn't make sense, I mean, it is not relatable to the word hindrances. Impressive, that means something that's outstanding. Imperial, that is again something that is important again, right? Then we have impeachment. Okay, it's also a different word. Then we have impediments. Impediment is again what? Certain barriers or hurdles, hindrances, right? When it doesn't allow a procedure to go seamless. So fifth is your correct answer. Okay, now we come to the last question here. So antonym of the word decrease we need to find here. So decrease. During this COVID time that we have recently come out of, right? So surge. You might have heard it. Surge in COVID patients. Well, surge in the number of COVID patients, surge in the COVID cases. So what is that surge? You all know that, right? Surge means hike, increase, right? So surge will be antonym here to the word decrease. So surge is the correct answer here. Dwindle, plummet, ebb, wane. These are the words which are in the context of something that is diminished or reduced. Wane, as you know that the moon starts waning, right? So all these are the words that mean completely similar to the meaning of the word decrease here. So that's all in this session. So I hope students this video through this video, okay, you could get some help how you can solve the answers in your exam, and this video could give you some ideas, right? So again, all the very best for your upcoming exam. Do very well, be prepared nicely, be confident, right? And do your exam very well. So all the best. God bless you all. Thank you so much.